If you watched the news when Dolly the sheep was cloned, you may have received messages ranging from celebration at a new scientific breakthrough to caution at fear of the Frankensheep. Cloning, this idea that we can take a genetically unique organism and replicate it, provokes such diverse reactions because it plays into our deepest notions about our own uniqueness. The news media that day gave us a very quick snapshot of some initial reactions to cloning technology. But by analysing the speculative fiction that has emerged in the 15 years since Dolly, I can build a much deeper and more complex picture of our cultural response to the prospect of human cloning. Our response in our culture is not favourable, but it's slightly different than you might expect. I've noticed a persistent assumption in the literature that the creation of human clones will involve a profit motive. For instance, in David Mitchell's novel Cloud Atlas, clones are created as a form of very cheap labour. They hold menial jobs at which they have to work 20-hour days every day and are never allowed to leave their workplaces. Similarly, in Kazuo Ishiguro's novel Never Let Me Go, clones are created so that they can grow organs, which are then sold off to transplant patients. In these and many other cloning narratives, the clone holds a primarily economic value. But bioethicists are not worried at the moment about the commodification of clones. So why do fiction authors have this preoccupation with the exploitation of clones' bodies and labour? My research shows that the familiar old narrative of the mad scientist, as seen in novels such as Frankenstein and The Island of Dr. Moreau, is undergoing a kind of recycling process. It's turning into now a mad corporation narrative. Even though these original mad scientist texts predate our modern biotech industry by more than a century, they remain huge influences on the way we talk and write about cloning. With that in mind, we can see that some of the anxieties in cloning fiction owe less to the actual risks of cloning than they do to this literary tradition of reacting to scientific advances with fear. Public discourse around biotechnology often picks up these fictional texts as a shorthand, as a way to explain very complex ideas quickly. That's why it is crucial that we recognise the cautionary bias in our fiction so that we can break through the Frankenscience rhetoric and remain open-minded in our evaluations of biotechnology. Thank you.